Okay, now in the next video, I'm going to talk to you about one of the most important things in creating work cycle, which is you have to shift the weight. I should have done it in the very beginning, but I've been saving this uh, for you because of for the last video, because this is really important things. Since when he is posing this going up pose, um, this character is putting all his weight or her weight into this leg, right? So you have to shift the this weight to this leg. Okay, so for this, and also you must do the same to the opposite side. Okay, so now if I play back, so it looks much more natural than before. If it is a little too much, then you can, of course, you can little lower this the value, maybe a little less. Okay, so that's what you must do. Okay, and then I'd like to talk to you about the animation layer a little bit. I'm not going to talk to you too much about it. You may be able to use this animation layer later in this program when you do character animation or any other when you take the other classes. Okay, so for this one, since it is the end of the semester and you are supposed to create two different versions of the work, one of the way that you can create a different type of work cycle without having to animate from scratch. I think it is really good practice if you create different work cycle from scratch, because then you will have which means you go through the exactly same or similar steps from the scratch again, and then you will get better and you will learn so much from it. But if you just in case, if you don't have much time, but if you want to create different type of work cycle, something that you can do is using animation layer and add additional things, animations. So for that, you must select all the controls that you used to create animation that has keyframe, or you like to add additional animation on top of this, then you must select all the controls and then you go to the animation layer, Anim layer window, and then you click this one, which is create the new animation layer, and add selected controls to that layer. Okay, then once you've done that, it creates two different layers, Anim layer 1 and then base animation. And base animation, Maya stores all the keyframe animations that you created using these controls. Maya store that into this base animation layer. And on top, animation layer 1 is that's empty layer for now, but it stores all these controls the controls here, but without any animation into on that layer. Okay. So what you can do is you can, let's say I want to create him doing squat or something like that. So then I'm going to just move this one in this animation layer, and then whatever you select, whatever animation layer you select, you see this green light becomes turned on, which means this layer is now activated. And then you lower it down and then set up the keyframe there by pressing S. Then simply by doing so, it will keep this animation there, of course. But then let's say if this is a mute layer button, if you click that, it's going to go back to the base animation that you have created. And then unmute, then it goes back. And then let's say if you want to make him stand up after a while, right? And maybe here. Then what you can do is you press this one, set weight to 1, and key layer. If you see it here, there's a weight button as well. So you can just click this one here as well. It will create your key for the this weight. And then you go there, and maybe here. And then if you turn it down, and then press K, then it's gonna stand up, right? So like that, right? And then let's say you want to add your additional animation on top. Let's say you want to maybe a flying head or something like that. Then you click this layer because you already created this kind of animation here. You can do some more, but then you have to play with this weight. So just what I like to do is if you want to create different animations for different parts, what I like suggest you to do is create your different layer for that part, and then animate additional animation in that layer for that part. So let's say if I want to create your separate animations for the head, then I select these controls, and then I create this plus button, which is create. Oh, it's not create empty layer, and you can create empty layer and then add to it. But let's say I create this, and then I go that, and then now I have this. So for 25, it's the same thing. I move it up and set up the keyframe, and it's gonna fly back, right? And then go here. You can press this one, 0 weight and key layer, okay? And it goes back, and go here 25, and then I press 1. It's gonna go up. So it's gonna put your weight to 1, full weight into that, and then maybe go to a 50 frame 50 or 51, and then get back. Let's just put the weight down, and then what it's gonna do is doing that, right? And then of course you can create your infinity on this as well. So animation and graph editor, and you will see animation 2 comes in, and if you go to the weight, you can simply create infinity on this weight to repeat that motion. So I just create post infinity and cycle, right? And I close that window, and if I play back, it's gonna keep doing that, right? It's pretty simple and effective, and we can discuss more about this maybe next time when we have chance. But have a fun animating work cycle. I'm looking forward to your animation. Okay.